Happy New Year, everybody. How you doing? The first Monday of 2021. And yes, yet again, it's been very stressful getting the show together. Oh, yes, indeed. And I can already see a mistake I've made with my shot, which I'm going to have to adjust when we get to the first clip. But I hope you're all well. Wow, hope you had a great Christmas. And my guest today is a lovely, lovely guy. Someone I've met fairly recently, but a phenomenal musician, really great individual, very, very impressive character. And in this first part, I forgot to say as well, before I get into the chat, we've reached a landmark today. I've reached a landmark. This is show number 10. This is Monday Snack number 10. I can't believe I've made it this far. Jeez. But there you go. Thanks to everybody that's going to tune in. Yeah, really, really cool. Yeah, show number 10. Bit of a milestone. I'm ultimately very proud of myself. There you go. But anyway, so today I have with me Adam Kovacs is my guest. Really, really amazing, amazing individual. And we had a brilliant chat. I think you're going to enjoy this. Dive on in. Here we go. So today, folks, I have with me a very, very cool guy. Really, really cool guy. Mr. Adam Kovacs, an amazing, amazing percussionist. Adam, how are you?
Hey, Andrew. Hey, Andrew. I'm very well, thank you. Yeah. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me in your show, man.
I am seriously, seriously happy you agreed to do this. What I've kind of been saying to folks, right, is some people I've known for ages, some people I've just met that have been on the show, and you are someone relatively new in my life.
Yeah.
And it's been brilliant. So you play percussion, and I read somewhere, I was doing a bit of research, you're a pianist as well, right?
Yeah, I'm from Hungary, and yeah, I grew up there. My musical background, everything is from there. I started down classical piano when I was 8.
Right.
And I did that for 3 years, and I absolutely hated it.
Really?
And yeah, I didn't like it at all. I mean, it was brutal. The reason why I started on there, because my mom, she's a classical pianist as a kind of hobby.
Right. Okay.
And I wanted to do percussion. I wanted to do percussion all the time.
How come you wanted to do? Where did the percussion come from then?
I don't really know. I just loved the rhythm and the sounds, and I was tapping everything. And my mom said, "Okay, cool. You can go to music school, but you have to start on piano." And I said,
"Right,
Mom, oh really?" And she said, "Yeah, because you have to know the notation and everything." And I said, "Okay, cool." And after once you know that stuff, you can move into percussion and do the rhythm and everything. And I said, so first 3 years I was practicing with my mom. She was sitting next to me and just hitting like the time, just this is the tempo. You are slow,
Really?
You are slowing down, you are speeding. It was brutal. And after 3 years, she said, "Okay, cool. Now this is the time you can go to the percussion department." And I said, "Yes."
Right. I'm a bit of an admirer, right, of you because of your history. We've spoken a little bit about this because the way we met. Let me explain to folks the way we met. So Carl van den Bosch was playing on my new album, and he couldn't make a couple of sessions, and another Carlos Edwards was another guy who longtime friend who's played on recordings for me, and Carlos was also unavailable, and I was like, oh man, these are my guys, who am I going to get? And Bosch just kind of said, you know what, you want to check out this guy, Adam Kovacs, you want to check out Adam, right? And I'm going to take that, a recommendation from Carl, as far as I'm concerned, is a recommendation I can trust, right? So we had a conversation. You sounded really into the thing, really into the concept of what I'm trying to do. And you came over. So you came over, you did the session, and you really, really impressed me for on many, many levels, right? And so when we spoke, we'll talk about the session in a while, but when we were kind of chatting, because obviously I want to kind of get to know you a little bit because we never met before, and you told me about, obviously you come from Hungary, you'd literally just uprooted yourself, come to London, and aimed to kind of succeed doing sessions, doing shows, and you've ended up sort of working in the theatre. So you've done some work on Thriller Live.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
I saw you worked on The Lion King as well at some point. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct as well. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there were two really, obviously Thriller is no longer running, but it was really long running show, right? And obviously The Lion King is a well established show. That's really impressive. Maybe I'm just a coward, right? But the thought of uprooting myself, going to a completely different country to build my career is a very scary, scary thing. Even me being born in the UK, growing up in the UK, in order to kind of get myself together and kind of say, right, I'm going to try to be a musician, it was a lot. So with you, the added barrier almost of coming from overseas, how hard was that? What sort of things did you encounter? Tell me about the whole process.
So let's go back to Hungary. So I was studying percussion there, and my teacher was really, really open-minded. So he didn't want me to go down on the classical route at all, and I didn't want it to go down on the classical route at all. And I haven't studied at college, so I haven't done anything like that. And basically, was really open-minded. And somehow I always ended up. There was a percussion ensemble, and I always ended up on the afro-Cuban instruments like timbale, congas, and stuff. The other thing about Hungary, because we were part of the communist bloc, we had a really good relationship with Cuba because of the communism. So the Cubans came over to study and stuff, and they just stuck there. And all of a sudden, when I was 16, 17, I was playing Cuban salsa in Budapest, and it was,
right.
And I was doing loads of
Very
Cuban
cool.
stuff, and all of a sudden, that was the time, 15, 20 years ago, when the Latin music came into fashion. And there was a salsa night in every single bar and stuff like that. And I started doing pop stuff as well back in Hungary. And there was a show. It was a Hungarian version of the Jay Leno show, and I was in the house band and stuff. And I was 23, and I was okay. Hang on a second, I'm 23 now, and I'm doing everything what I can in this country. It's just I want to try myself, because when I was a kid, I have to say I absolutely loved the acid jazz label. I mean, that was my. And and listening to Carl, listening to Incognito, listening to Shola from Jamiroquai, listening to Snowboy, listening to Thomas Dayani.
Right. Oh yeah, monster.
These guys, they're all from the UK. And to me, you know what? I want to go to the UK. I wanna meet with these guys. I wanna play with these guys. I just wanna hang there. I want to breathe the air, what they are breathing there. I moved to the UK, and it wasn't easy, because first of all, I moved to Oxford. It was really, really hard to get any kind of work.
Right.
So I realized that, okay, cool, I have to do something what is recognized in the UK. I did an audition for American show band, what was working on a cruise ship. And basically the show band was, you had one rehearsal in the afternoon with the guest entertainer and one show in the evening. And that was I think it's a 13 or 14 piece band.
Right.
And every night was a different guest entertainer. So it was reading in the afternoon, rehearsal with the person, and one show in the evening. When I got back to the UK, all of a sudden the work just kind of started coming in.
Right.
So I got back from, it's really funny, I got back from the cruise ship. So I've written an email to Shola Akingbola from Jamiroquai, saying that, listen, Shola, I just got back from this cruise ship, I'm from Hungary, would it be possible to meet up or whatever? And he got back to me straight away, Adam, I'm rehearsing tomorrow with my band, come down. And I was, wow, that's
so
wicked.
Cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. I went into the room, Carl was on drums.
Right.
Satin was playing congas. Shola was playing batars and singing. And I went into the room and hang on a second. I mean, these guys are my heroes. And all in one room. And I was just, what's going on? And Carl straight away, listen, Adam, I live in Reading. What is 40 minutes from Oxford? I have a studio in the garden. Just come over. We're going to have a blow. So I went over, and all of a sudden, I found myself going over to Carl's in every 2 months, because he was really, and he's still really busy. He's a really busy guy.
Yeah.
But when he was around, he just texted me, hey, Adam, I'm around. Do you fancy to come over? So just went over. We had a blow in the studio, and it was wicked. And that that was when everything just kind of started coming in. And the Thriller thing is kind of funny because that was my kind of first major work. It was in 2009, just after MJ died, and I got a call that, hey Adam, we heard that you're playing piano, and I said, yeah, but why we are talking about this? I said, yeah, because for the perk chair for Thriller you have to play keys 3. Only chords, nothing major, but you have to play keys 3.
Right.
So, can you do it? Sure, no problem. And that was, hang on a second, I mean, the last time I was playing piano, I was 12, you know?
So you're saying like, thanks, Mum. Mum, you sorted me out, Mum. There was a reason.
Yeah. And that was the point when okay, cool, my mum was right, again, you know?
That's so cool.
So I went down to the rehearsals, and it was just sight reading straight away. I was scared to my life of the keys, you know, just, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And so yeah, and pretty much that's it. And since then, it just all of a sudden, work just came in my way.
Oh yes. Adam Kovacs there. In full flow. Very inspiring guy. Like I said in the clip, right? Maybe I am just a coward, but uprooting yourself to try and make a career work in a completely different country is just, to me, I've got nothing but admiration. Yeah, let me say hi to some folks. Great to see everybody today. Who do we have? Let me start top of the list. Sam, thanks for coming by again. Great to see you. Christian, the man himself, Adam Kovacs, is in the house. Who else do you have? Cousin Jeff, head of the family. Thanks for stopping by again. Who else do we have? We have Daniel, Anita. Lovely, nice to say those nice things about the show, Anita. Glad you're loving it. Aunt Law. Who else do we have? Rich Cass. Yeah, quite a few people in today. Thanks for all dropping by. Right, so that was a bit of, obviously, Adam history. Big props to Adam's mum. And in this next conversation, we had a conversation about a session that Adam did for me, and it's one of those things, right, that I think might be really useful for people to get a handle on, of the concept of when things don't necessarily go to plan straight away, and how you kind of navigate it and how you plan for these things. It was really, really good to kind of dive into this with Adam. It'll make sense when you kind of see what we spoke about. Here we go. Let's talk about the session, right? So this is what really impressed me. So you come over to my studio. I think I threw probably the trickiest, hardest tune on my new album at you that day,
man.
Right?
So I got the text from you and said, okay, cool, straight away, before I even replied to you, straight away I texted Carl. He got back to me, Adam, thanks your text, man. Yeah, just do it, man. Andrew, a really good friend of mine. Just enjoy. It's gonna be a roast. ... He said it's gonna be a roast ... But you can read smiley right, okay. Sign. And cool. All right.
Yeah.
So
what was quite funny Carl was relieved. Later on, he was relieved that he didn't do that session. Because when he heard the track, he was like, boy, he said he dodged a bullet. He felt like he dodged a bullet. So you've come in and, you know, it's unfair. I've thrown what was probably the most complex track on the record at you, right?
You did,
and
yeah.
This is one of the reasons I really wanted to interview you for this, right? Because the point of this is to kind of give people an insight into what the kind of things we have to deal with as musicians. And the way you dealt with that was testament to your character, testament to your ability, because we don't always end up in situations where we're comfortable, right? Where think, oh, okay, it's a groove, it's a thing, great, yeah, just get on with it, great. Sometimes we get faced with stuff that's like, oh my gosh! And that was one of those days. So
it was.
I could see you found that tough. You found it really, really tough. And what I want to know, right, is what your process is. And I've been asking a lot of the folks that have done these Monday snacks for me, what your process is, because you've walked into a room, right, with someone you don't know, right, being faced with really tricky music, and at first attempt, it's like, this is hard. You've got to find a way to get past it. I want to get an idea of what was going through your head and what you did in that moment to nail it, because at the end of the day, you nailed it.
So that was the funny thing. I went in the studio, first tune, boom, we finished in 10 minutes. It's cool.
Yeah.
So in my head, Carl said it's gonna be a roast. So where is the roast? You know? And after the second tune, Port the Secco, bang.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah. So what? I wanted to know what in your mind, what's kind of going on, because you would have done sessions that are tricky. You play with Ant. So Ant's music is way more mad than mine, right? So what's going through your head when you get faced with that?
That tune, that was brutal. I mean, that was one of the hardest things, and probably the reason why it was hard as well, because we never met before.
Yeah.
So not just the music situation was kind of it's a brand new situation what you have to deal with, the social as well. I didn't know what to say, what's your reactions and stuff.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be pleased or are you gonna be? I didn't know, and in the meantime, I was just okay, cool. Let's try to switch off the social part completely,
right?
And just focus only on the music. Switch off everything else. Focus on the music. Try to get in the zone.
Yeah,
and it's going to work.
That's really interesting. That's really cool. That's really, really cool. So, obviously, reading helps. Yeah?
It had.
Up to a point, it helps. Because, obviously, you can see the patterns that are written down for you, right? But execution, pocket, that little bit of lilt, it's kind of afro-Cuban thing. That's a whole nother layer of complexity on top of the dots in front of you. So, do you have again a method for dealing with that side of it? So yeah, you got to read, but you got to make it sound like you're not reading.
I mean, that's, to be fair, I think that's one of the hardest thing to do, and how to be prepared for that. It's just when I practice, I'm just throwing myself into situations what is hard until the point when it gets comfortable. It doesn't matter what, and all of a sudden, all those technique and practice is like a mirror. What's going to be mirrored at the session.
What was great for me, watching you cope with that, because the point of it wasn't to make it brutal. The point of it was like, you know what? Sometimes I wake up and a mad tune comes to my head, and it's like, okay, let's do that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't try to write difficult music just for the sake of writing difficult music.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's what
happens.
The result is. Yeah. What was really, really cool, despite the complexity, despite all the stuff, you dug deep. You just got through it. And the way you really navigated the social thing as well, because it's funny because I can feel the tension. I can feel that, okay, this is weird. Okay, how are we gonna get through it? And we worked. It was really, really cool the way we worked through it, because, like I said at the start of this question, not every session you do, not every time you walk into a room and play a tune, it's going to be like, okay, there you go, bam. Sometimes it's going to be, wow, how do we make this happen? But you nailed it. You just completely nailed it. Again, Mr. Kovacs doing his thing. Hi to Martin. Thanks for dropping by as well. Really cool. Very, very cool. So the thing we're talking about, the session we're speaking about, it's really interesting when that kind of stuff happens, because it kind of separates the men from the boys. You know what I'm saying? You know, ladies, I hope you allow me the analogy, right? But my man stepped up. He stepped up. You know, it's the proof of the pudding. You know, the proof of the pudding. My guy, he totally delivered. Totally delivered. What we're doing now? I know what we're doing now. Let's have a silly quiz. This was quite funny. There's one reaction in particular to one of the questions by Adam that really made me chuckle when I was editing this. Yeah, so here we go. The impossible choice quiz. Our usual foray into into just stupidness, really. Here we go. We're going to do the impossible choice quiz, which may not be that impossible. I think these questions are quite gentle compared to some of the others, right? So, impossible choice quiz. I give you a couple of choices. No hesitation. You come up with an answer, right? Okay. Right, percussionists. These percussionists, right, they're the, like, elder statesmen of the whole percussion world. So, Tito Puente or Ray Barretto?
Ray Barretto.
Okay. Good. Right. You got the chance to play with either of these two acts. Who'd you pick? Do you pick Madonna or Sting? Quickly.
Sting.
Cool. Lovely. Lovely. Right. Okay. Drummer. Which one of these drummers would you like to walk to a room and see sat behind the kit? We're talking proper afro-Cuban, like, specialists here, right? Antonio Sanchez, yeah? Or Horacio Hernandez, amigo. Which one?
Horacio.
Yeah. Absolute monster. His independence is ridiculous. Cool, right. Okay. Percussionist again. This is a bit of left field, this one, right? Paulino da Costa or Trilok Gertu?
Paulino da Costa.
Okay. So you're always on the Latin side, right? You're always on the Latin thing. Yeah? Cool, right. And the last one. You got a chance to play with either of these two artists' bands, right? Michel Camilo or Snarky Puppy?
Oh!
That's the curveball. Michel Camilo, Snarky Puppy. Which one?
Snarky Puppy.
Okay. Right. Beautiful. Right. So we've got one more quiz later.
Oh,
cool.
Man.
I'm glad I got you there. Brilliant. Yeah, that reaction to the sort of Michel Camilo Snarky Puppy thing was like, the end of the Premier League season a few years ago. He looked in pain. Adam, man, it's just a laugh, you know. It's very, very funny. Very, very, very funny. I'm gonna get in trouble. Do you know why? I haven't said that Mrs. S is in the house. And you know what? Last week I said Mrs. S was in the house, and I keep getting in trouble when I don't acknowledge the fact the smallest small's in the house, right? So I'm like, the smallest small's in the house. I'll go inside. Smallest small was upstairs on the phone with her friend on FaceTime. Wasn't bothered. Monday snack is no more for the little one. Charming. There you go. Man alive. I don't know. Anyway, right. So, next part of my chat with Adam, right? We spoke about, you've seen a couple of clips from a live show that Adam did with me. And we spoke about the lead up to that, because it kind of followed on nicely from what happened from the session. It just showed just how conscientious, just how really on top of his game Adam is. Yeah, I think you'll find this interesting. Here we go. After we did the session, you came in, right? It was my first ever live show, right? Adam, you came in and you completely and utterly crushed that gig. Let me tell you something. Coming from that whole thing of the session, I don't know whether like the session just completely broke you or burned you. To the degree, Adam, you came in and you were like a machine. It was unbelievable. You kept stopping me in the rehearsal going, Andrew, is everything okay? And I'm thinking, I don't have to say anything. You were all over absolutely every groove, every pattern, every chart, every figure, every structure. You were complete. I didn't have to say what it was like. It was just like, man, what did you do in between the session and that gig? Because I know stuff happened. Stuff happened during that period.
So yeah, basically, when you asked me for that live gig, that was, man, that's cool. That's really, really cool. The pressure is gonna be big, but I have to nail this because I'm filling in for Carl. There shouldn't be any mistake, and Carl, hopefully, is going to be proud of me. You know, that was my thing. Okay, I did the prep. I did my homework.
Boy, you did serious homework.
I arrived at the rehearsal, set up everything. We started rehearsal, and you haven't said a single word. And I was, dude, what's going on? And you know, this is the thing. I'm a good friend of Ant. And when we had a break, I said, Ant, what's going on with Andrew, man? Is he happy with my playing? It doesn't say anything. He just said, yeah. He always just, yeah, that's cool. All the time. Man, I'm slightly stressed. Because I think he's just polite. He doesn't like what I'm doing. He's just polite. He doesn't want to destroy me completely. And I was just, dude, man, I don't know what's going on. And said, listen, Andrew has to focus on loads of things right now. If he's going to like what you do, you're going to receive a text a day or 2 days later. Don't worry. So the next day when we were rehearsing, it was the same. And I don't, am I doing something wrong? And yeah, after the rehearsal, I think the same day around 10 or 11 in the evening, I got a text from you that, Adam, what you're doing is absolutely amazing. I'm loving it. It's nothing to correct. I'm absolutely happy. And
seriously, it was ultra impressive. If I can explain what was going through my brain, right? So I've got to do this gig. I've got to finance it myself. I think that was 10 musicians, 12 singers. It's jazz, so there's no budget, right? So I've got to find a way to pay for all this stuff. I've got to find a way to get a rehearsal room, get all these folks. I think the day before we rehearsed, I've loaded in all the gear. I've set up all the stuff. We had some issues with the desk, so I'm doing all the routing, doing all the stuff. I'm recording the gig. I'm videoing the gig, so I know I'm going to have to make sure we capture the recording well. I've got to make sure all the audio, all the camera angles are correct. My brain is just like mush, right? I've got 10 people in the room. I've got to be on top of the arrangements. I'm just trying to, and I've got to play the drums. And then I've got to play the drums, and I've got to load this van with stuff, and then drive the van with the gear to the gig to get it all loaded in. You were just like an absolute godsend, because I'm looking across thinking, I don't even have to think about percussion because it's just covered.
So it's not just for you. I'm
Right.
always
Yeah,
prepping.
and I can see
I'm
that.
always prepping because I don't want to look like an idiot on stage, you know? I don't want to look like an idiot at the rehearsal. I always prep. And if I can't prep, I won't take the gig. Because in a way you are playing with your own reputation. And,
exactly. Yeah.
You know, and this is the thing, it's just, and especially when you are playing original music. I love your music, man. I love your music, and I really appreciate what you're doing. It's amazing. It's amazing stuff, and that's why even it's just, you know, the prep, it quadruples, because, you know, it's not as I was saying, you're paying every single person from your pocket, and just to make music happen, and that's why, and not just that's why. Generally, I'm preparing myself for everything, but that's an extra. That, okay, cool. It's not for the money. It's for the quality.
Yeah, it can't be for the money because there wasn't much of it. As someone that's trying to do this, someone that's trying to get a project or their own music off the ground, it really inspires me when people are generous enough, because that's what it is. It's generosity on your part, right? And generosity on everyone's part to devote the time and the effort and just to donate your talent to what I'm trying to do. Because it makes a difference. I love when I'm here and you know, people are recording, people leave, and I bring up the faders, and for me, magic's just happened, because the stuff that was in my head is got a little bit of Adam Kovacs in it now. There's an Adam Kovacs flavour that's been inserted into this thing, and every layer, every sort of subsequent layer that goes on the music, it just turns it into something completely different, something that quite often I couldn't. Yes, I write the arrangements, and yes, I've kind of got a very clear picture of what I might want it to be, but it always ends up being something else, just because of people's contribution. And man, what you did on the album, what you did on the gig, man, seriously grateful. It was really, really, really impressive. Man. So my last question to you, right, is, you seem to be Mr. Extreme Sports as well.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I do my best, yeah.
So you seem to be like Action Man, right? I've seen kayaking, it's the surfing, there's all this stuff, doing all this stuff, this mad stuff, right? How is it connected to the music? Is it like an escape? Riding a motorbike and playing golf are two things I do that when I'm doing them, you can't be thinking about anything other than the thing you're doing. So when you're on a motorbike, you've got to focus on riding the bike. You've got to be aware of your surroundings. You've got to be aware of your position on the road. If you're not focused, it can be catastrophic, right?
Yeah.
So I just wondered if extreme sports thing is like that for you, because I found those things were great about switching off, because I get quite obsessive about music. So to have something where I completely switch off, I find really useful.
Yeah, pretty much. I have to switch off completely and focus what I'm doing, what is not music or not family related stuff. And yeah, this is the thing. It's just as you were saying with the biking or golf, you just have to be in the zone. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it, because you're gonna make a mistake. And like I love snowboarding. Snowboarding is wicked, but if you go into the mountains, you have to respect the mountain.
Yeah.
So the mountain is the boss, you know, and
right.
You have to. And this is the thing, when I go out on the sea surfing, I mean, the waves can be serious, or the wind can be really serious when I'm kite surfing. You have to respect it. You cannot be that, okay, cool, I'm gonna show the wind, yeah, or I'm gonna show the sea how to do. No. And I really like this. It clears my mind completely. And when I come back to the studio, when I come back to practice, it's just I'm a brand new person.
Yeah. I know I made a big deal out of it, but I really, really feel fortunate to have people around me that's just so talented, so conscientious, just so generous. And Adam, you know, is just added himself to one of that number. It makes it much easier to kind of carry that load of trying to create, trying to get your own thing off the ground. Saying hi to a few more people. Saying hi to Mick. Great to see you, man. Happy New Year. To Ibe. It's been a while, man. Oh, thanks for dropping by. To Tula. And I've just seen Peter. Peter, oh, you're a snowboarder as well. You're another crazy person that gets us. Actually, you know, when someone, there's a friend of mine, bass player friend of mine, and when I started riding a motorbike, it was just like, he was like, Andrew, are you crazy? But it was a childhood. I just always wanted to ride a motorbike. It clears my mind. Amazing thing. Really, really amazing. Cool. Great to see everybody. Right. So we are into the final segment of the show. It's the it's the Tour Life pop quiz. Now, you know these have been getting a bit random, right? I hope I'm not scraping the barrel, because this week's is pretty stupid as well. Adam was game though. Check this out. Tour Life pop quiz. Here it comes. 3 questions for you in the Tour Life pop quiz for this week, right?
Let's hit it.
Couple of scenarios, right? So, you're on a theatre show, yeah? There's a section of the show, there's a big percussion feature. You're on stage, you're in the middle of the stage, massive percussion feature. It's all about Adam Kovacs at that point, right? It always goes down a complete storm every night, yeah?
Okay, cool.
So you've done the show, you got changed, you're coming out of the stage door, there's a dear old gentleman waiting. He's insisting on having his photograph taken with you. He sees you, he's like, oh my goodness, I just have to... He says that your performance was life-changing. Was absolutely life-changing. His wife is taking photographs, that they've taken 5 shots, they want another angle. It's the whole bit. He's completely blown away. After about 10 minutes, right? He just said, yeah, your performance was great. I just loved your voice so much. Which means he completely mistook you for someone else, right? Now, he mistook you for the lead character in the play. So, do you, as you're signing your autograph for him, do you correct him, or do you just say, you know what, say thanks and head to your car?
Man, I correct him. Man. And I let him know, dude, the perk is much better, man. You should have listened to the perk, and that's me. See you later.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna be like really.
No.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna be like, oh thanks. Oh, yeah. No, he's like, it's all about percussion. I like that. Yeah. That's good. Love that. Next question. You made me laugh there. That's really funny. Right, next question. You're on your way to a recording session with a major artist, right? And this session could secure you the percussion chair for their massive world tour. It's a really important session, right? Now, you've been told by the management the artist has 0 tolerance for lateness. Zero tolerance for late. If you're late, that's it. If you're late, that's it, right? So, the artist was really impressed because he saw a video of you playing congas online, and that's how you've been booked, okay? So, you're on time. You're driving there, you're on time, everything's going well, right? You're about 10 minutes away, you're a bit nervous because there's a lot riding on this, you're a bit nervous. You stop at a newsagent's to grab some snacks. You jump out of the car, you go in the newsagent's, rummaging around, you get your snacks, you come out, someone's broken into your car.
Ooh.
They've taken your phone, and they've taken all your gear. All they've left is a little egg shaker. Now remember, you can't call anybody, and the only reason you got this gig was congas. So, do you carry on to the studio with the intention of convincing everybody that your genius on percussion can make this egg shaker really work, right? Or do you try to rush home, get the spare congas, and risk the wrath of the artist being late? Which one?
I go to the studio with the egg shaker. Yeah.
Yeah?
100%. Yeah.
You're going to make the egg shaker work?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Cool. Right. Okay. Last one. You're recording at home, right? It's a remote session, but it's one of those real-time remote sessions, right? For avant-garde classical composer. Very, very picky. He's very stern, no nonsense. He's like one of those really difficult people. But it's a real-time session, right?
Mm.
Your youngest child, who we're going to call Little K, right? Little K is outside the door playing with their favourite dinosaur during the session, right? You're recording. Little K's outside playing with the dinosaur, bashing the dinosaur's head on the wooden floor, right? The noise ends up on the recording, right? You're thinking, oh man, I got to... Composer stops the session, looks at your little window and goes, I'm blown away. That sound, that abstract concept, it's amazing. It's amazing. I need more of it. I need you to replicate it, but I need a special vibe. I need a little vibe of that percussion for another section of this tune, right? You've got to replicate it, right? You go outside the door. By this point, Little K disappeared in the garden, has got no intention of giving up the dinosaur. Little K's like, no, you're not having my dinosaur. Little K's running around. Composer's waiting, like, what's going on? Right? So, right, do you, yeah, as the composer's getting impatient, right, you know the composer's going to hate kids. Do you come clean and explain how the sound happened? Or do you get Little K's Barbie doll and bash the floor with that head instead and hope the composer doesn't notice?
I will get the doll, man. I will get the doll. I will get 100%, man. There's no chance to go clean, man.
Oh man, thanks for playing along. You know my questions are complete nonsense. The complete nonsense. Adam, it has been fantastic chatting with you today.
Likewise, Andrew. Thanks for having me.
Man, and I really hope we can just like kick COVID to the curb. We need to make some more music, my friend.
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool.
Definitely.
You take care,
Definitely. Yeah? Thanks for having me.
I know, everyone. I know these questions are getting so stupid. I just can't help myself. Cool. It was really, really wonderful chatting with Adam. What a great guy. Inspiring guy. Real strong character, man. I've learned a lot just by hanging with this guy. Really, really cool. Very, 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 very cool. So everyone, we've come to the end of the show. Thanks to all of you for dropping by. I love it when the chat gets rowdy. It's been really rowdy tonight as well. Very, very cool. Very cool. So, man, we know our illustrious leader has got some news for us at 8 o'clock this evening. Lord knows what that's going to be. But in the meantime, guys, just, let's just keep safe. Let's keep safe. Let's keep sane. Let's keep creative. Yeah. So, please pop on by to my website, andrewsmall.net. You can listen to my music from my last album, What Happens Now. Available in all the usual places where you get your music. Yeah. My social media handle is Andrew Small Drums. That's Facebook, that's Instagram, and also YouTube, where on YouTube you can watch the complete show all over again once I've done a couple of tweaks and uploaded it later on this evening. I've really messed up tonight with my shot. It's really funny because normally I'm very particular with the bear in the corner, and I noticed I've just cut the bear's head off. Normally you can see the headphones, and I didn't notice it, and I've been trying to fix it in between shots, but doesn't matter. It's one of those little picky things, you know how it is. I'm just that kind of guy. But anyway, guys, keep safe, and I'll see you again next week. Got a really cool guest next week. It's going to be really, really cool. So have a great week, and I'll see you then. Take care, guys. See ya. Bye.